Edmonds kind of day. It's an Edmonds kind of day. Welcome to another awesome Edmonds kind of day.
Say goodbye to boring sandwiches. Coming up next on Edmonds Today, we'll meet the Edmonds moms behind the Fun Kid Lunches Facebook page.
Another opening, another show. The Edmonds Driftwood Players are proud to be celebrating 56 years of entertaining audiences in our community. Conveniently located in downtown Edmonds, the Wade James Theatre is close to fine dining for before or after the show. For performance schedules and ticket information, please visit us at driftwoodplayers.com. Close, affordable, fun. The Edmonds Driftwood Players. Come play with us.
Welcome back to Edmonds Today. I'm Jennifer Marks. Very excited about what we have going on today. We have the Edmonds moms behind Fun Kid Lunches. Chris Cassou, Elaine Helm. Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So today they are going to show you how to make quick, easy, fun kid lunches. And we're going to start off with the staple of kid lunches, sandwiches. So show me what you got here.
So sandwiches, basically meat and cheese or peanut butter jelly for a lot of people. We get a lot of notes on our page about that. And something that we find is the easiest way you can spice up a meat and cheese sandwich is just with a basic cookie cutter. Here we have an octopus, a rocket ship, a little ninja. You can mix and match some shapes if you want to, but that's like takes 2 seconds out of your morning, and it's like the easiest thing you can do to kick up the basic sandwich.
So this is just basically a deli slice of provolone that you cut with a cookie cutter like this. Can you show me what you did with the heart on the pancake here?
All right, so another way to kind of mix up your sandwich is to change out the ingredients. So instead of a standard bread, here we've used pancakes instead of bread, especially for a peanut butter jelly sandwich. It's like, kind of makes sense. So we have taken just a little heart, cut a heart out of the pancake and made a negative space, and it looks nice with the little red jelly in there.
Tell me what you have right here.
So here we just have some basic pop 'em open biscuits from the store, pre-made, really easy. We'll take these and just roll them out, flatten them out, and stuff them with whatever we sort of have lying around. So you can take just some deli meat, some vegetables, some cheese, roll it up in there, and it's good to go for a lunch. Often we'll make a big batch of these on the weekend, and then they're good. They're good for lunches, but they're also good for like a quick dinner. You can pop them in the freezer. They're good for, a couple of weeks. They don't last that long in our house. But I'm just taking some flour here to make sure that my dough isn't sticking to the board. And then I'm gonna take get some of this on my hands, and also you can take if you don't have a rolling pin, just a simple glass. This is just like one of those tumblers you get your, cold beverage in for the day, and then roll this out. So it doesn't need to be too flat, but I take it, flip it over, roll it out a bit, and then I'll just take a spoonful. I'll just put a little bit more on there, and then I'm just gonna fold it over. And you can get fancy with your edges, or you can just do this really simple, but you can like pinch them over to the side, make a little scallop.
So is this something that you need to heat up the morning of, or can you just sort of defrost it in the lunchbox?
So we actually heat it up either in the microwave or in the oven before it goes into the lunch. And we use a bento box system that we line it with aluminum foil. And for whatever reason, that just seems to sort of keep it a little bit warm and not too soggy.
Here's what they look like after we bake them.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can see this one's come apart a little bit. I probably filled it a little bit too much, but this one's nice and perfect.
It looks professional, like you would, like a Hot Pocket that you would pull out of a thing. Now, this is amazing.
It tastes a lot better, and it's a lot better for you, so
For sure.
we feel good knowing that, our son's getting good food, and it's not too difficult to make.
So let's talk about another alternative to the sandwich, which I see you guys do a lot, the quesadilla. So show me how you guys would do that quickly in the morning.
So quesadillas are great because all you need is a few tortillas, some cheese, maybe some meat, some veggies. So we'll just take tortilla, toss some cheese and some meat on there. It doesn't have to be pretty. I will say if you're gonna put stuff in the middle, make sure you get cheese on both sides so it sticks together. But we'll toss some veggies in there. I'll take my own advice and put some cheese on top of it. And then our secret trick is a bacon press. Really easy, makes it cook faster, more even. You put it in the pan, just put the bacon press right on top of it, 2 to 4 minutes, and you're good to go.
So this is another one of those cases because, you know, I follow Fun Kid Lunches on Facebook, right?
Aw.
And I see that you have a lot of little things. Sometimes if you just cut it up and it's, you know, boring, it's not boring, but, you know, if it's boring, then you put cute little things in it like this. And where do you get something like this? I know you have Star Wars ones. There's some cute animals in here. I think maybe some Pokemon.
Yeah, so those are from like a Ranch 99. Daiso has a lot of stuff like this. Or you can find them online. A lot of times they're imported from Japan.
Yeah.
But the fun little faces and shapes are just, you know, it's another way to add a little bit of fun to a lunch without doing something super, super complicated.
Sometimes you use the, you call it nori, I call it seaweed, to make a character out of something. My favorite thing you did was the Lorax. So sometimes you make eyeballs out of cheese.
Just cheese. We use the big fat straw for the big part of the eyeball and a hole punch in the nori for the little part of the eyeball, and it takes about 2 seconds. Or we have our son make some in advance.
Speaking of characters, this next thing you're going to show us is something that you utilize characters with a lot.
Yes, the egg sheet. And we've done a lot of things with egg sheets. Sometimes we use them as roll-ups. Sometimes we use them similar to what we've done with cheese, where we just cut some shapes out of it. But we use it as an alternative to bread or the pancake or the quesadilla, where we use an egg instead of those items. So the egg sheet's all about technique. We only do 1 egg. I'm going to leave that right there. You just crack your egg. You don't get any shell in there. So the technique to this, because you don't want it to sizzle like an omelet really, it wants to be really thin like a crepe. So we use the chopsticks instead of a fork to just kind of get it all mixed up, and you just stir it up like this until it's pretty consistent in texture.
Okay.
And then we're going to take it over to the frying pan and put this like a thin layer of oil like you would if you were making a crepe, and then we sizzle that up. So this is your nice thin egg sheet.
And that's just been folded over one time.
I just folded it over because it was easier to get it out of the pan. And then we just take some lunch meat and some cheese and we roll it up. Just like we would, sometimes we'll do like wraps like that. And then, you know, for funsies, I like to sometimes cut it into little sushi bites.
Look at that.
It's just another little roll up, stick a pin in it there.
And so then you just put it in the same case where you would put his lunch or his mini bagel or the small pancake and put the top on, and that's ready to go.
Yeah, it's ready to go.
Thank you, Chris and
Thank
Elaine, very
you.
much
Thanks
for
so
coming.
much.
If you want to find out more about how to make these fun kid lunches, you can go to facebook.com/funkidlunches.
Welcome back to Edmonds Today. I'm your host, Teresa Whipple. In the studio with us, we have Melinda Truax. Melinda, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
You have a story that we wanted you to share with the community that most parents, all parents, would not want to have to tell. But tell me about your son, Matthew, and what happened to him and what you have been doing in the community as a result.
Well, my son Matthew, on September 13th of 2013, he got in his car, he drove to school like any other day, and by second period he was running in the track PE class, and he started having leg cramps, and the next thing you know, he clutched his heart and he went down, and he had a sudden cardiac arrest. The teachers immediately called 911 and provided CPR, and the medics arrived within 6 minutes, and they used an AED, an automated external defibrillator, on him within 7 minutes. But unfortunately, by that point, Matthew had lost over 70% chance of survival, and they did everything they could to save him, but they couldn't.
And as a result of that terrible tragedy, which did generate a lot of community support, you found yourself getting a phone call that kind of changed your life for the next year. Tell me more about that.
Well, 2 days after Matthew passed away, the cardiologist who was with Matthew at Swedish told us about a foundation called the Nick of Time Foundation. He's actually a volunteer for them. And soon after, Darla, the president of Nick of Time, came to our house, and along with her sister Sue, and told us about their story. They lost their son Nick 10 years ago from a sudden cardiac arrest, from the same condition and at the same age as Matthew. So we have that, unfortunately, in common. And I started volunteering for the Nick of Time, and they do heart screenings at high schools. And they told me a story about how they'd raised money to provide AEDs for all the schools in Seattle. And I said, would you help me do that for my kids' school district and for Edmonds? And they said, yeah. And so here I am today talking to you about the Heart of Edmonds School District and Community Heart Safe Project.
All right. And, I know that one of the things that you're doing to raise awareness is in the last month or so been having these AED flash mobs at the high schools. We were there to get some video of that, and it was a lot of fun. But the idea is to train students to know what to do if someone around them does have this problem. And also, I know that you are raising money to make sure that these AED units, which we have one here, get into all of the schools. Tell me more about that project and the fundraiser.
Okay, so now most of the schools have AEDs, but they've been there for a long time, and a lot of the schools don't have enough AEDs to cover the actual size. So the goal of the project is to raise money enough to properly place AEDs throughout the schools. This is over 34 locations. 20,000 students are going to benefit from this project. So the fundraiser that we're doing is we're going to have a gala next year, February 28th at the Linwood Convention Center. It's called Save a Life, Equip a Hero Gala. I'm hoping that people today that listen to this will go to our website. They'll buy their tickets today to the gala, buy a table for 10. Or if a business is watching, maybe they could donate an auction item that we can sell at the gala. So every single donation, online donation, big or small, will help our community.
Okay, and it will all go toward purchasing these AEDs for the school
Absolutely.
district. I also know that there's going to be a fashion show which is happening next April, and there's
Right.
more information on the website there.
Yes, for them.
Okay, and we'll have the URL, the website address up on the screen for people and how they can get more information.
Great.
And I know that as you look through this, people research this. This is very simple using these AEDs. It's very easy to, they're very easy to use, and that's one of the things that they can learn more about on the website.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, listen, Melinda, thank you so much for coming by today, and I wish you the best of success with the project.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome to Edmonds Today. I'm your host, Teresa Whipple. In the studio with us today, we have two representatives from Edmonds Community College and their Boots to Books and Beyond campaign. Gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Teresa.
Bill Kepler, I'd like to start with you. You are the co-chair of the campaign, and you are an Army veteran who has had quite a bit of experience in working with veterans. And I'd like to say that since this show will air on Veterans Day month in November, I thought it was appropriate to talk more about this. Tell me more about the Foundation campaign and what its aims are and why you're part of it.
We are dismissing thousands of veterans each month, and there's a great need to assist them as they transition from military life into civilian life. They really need to have both personal counseling and career counseling, and that's what the Veterans Resource Center is all about at Edmonds Community College.
All right, and you were also telling me that earlier that Edmonds Community College has quite a unique distinction in the United States in terms of its role in veterans work. Tell me about that.
That's correct, and I'm very pleased and very proud of that. Of the 3,000 colleges and universities in the United States, only approximately 18% are designated, excuse me, by the U.S. Department of Education and by the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs as being a veteran-friendly campus. And there are many things you have to do to gain that particular kind of recognition. So I'm very proud that Edmonds Community College has achieved this, since we are so close to Joint Base Lewis McChord here.
And Mark Von Weber, you are a veteran as well of the Navy. From 81 to 91, you were on submarines.
Yes.
Now, you have done some consulting work over the years since being out of the service, and now you're back at school through the Boots to Books and Beyond campaign. Tell me more about your story and what you've been doing as part of the program.
Thank you. I was in submarines for 10 years, as you mentioned, from 81 to 91. I was what you would call a Cold War era veteran, and it occurred to me that Bill is a Korean War veteran, and we have many student veterans at the school from back to the Vietnam era. Our director, Chris Zarek, is post 9/11 era. So this whole experience at the Veteran Resource Center has been about paying forward from all these eras, and it's our opportunity to serve those men and women coming back from the campaigns today.
What exactly, in terms of the program itself, what are the kinds of things that you are seeing as veterans come back from the war that this program addresses?
We try to look at their military occupational specialty. In the Army, there's approximately 200 of these, and so we try to match that up with additional educational benefits, so we have a very good, what we call goodness of fit, and the transition will be less challenging.
And Mark, if you were going to tell the public one thing about what they should keep in mind when they think of the struggles that veterans face when they come back, what would that be?
It's not an easy transition, and through the foresight and leadership of Edmonds Community College, the foundation, the Boots to Books and Beyond campaign, we've got the resources now to make that transition much easier for the soldiers and airmen and sailors coming back from the fronts today.
And something we were talking about earlier, there were some emergency funds that are available for certain circumstances.
Yes, and this is very unique amongst the community college system within Washington State. As far as I'm aware, we're the only community college to offer emergency funds between the quarters. And last quarter, during a pilot program, the foundation and the Veteran Resource Center was able to
carry that bridge.
Yes,
Bridge it over.
To bridge it over to the sum of $14,000, which is phenomenal.
And an example of that would be if a soldier and his family needs something to carry them through financially from one quarter to the next, whether it be housing costs or
Yes.
food costs,
That's
something
correct.
like that.
Correct.
If the rent, to help pay for the rent, or let's say tuition, cost, or automobile repair if they have to travel from, to and from where they're living to the campus.
You were talking earlier about, the next phase of this, of course, is actually raising the money to support this program long term. And as you had pointed out, the state legislature does not necessarily have a lot of extra resources right now. So you are part of a campaign to actually
That's
raise
correct.
funds, $1 million, correct, for this
Correct.
effort?
We started in June of 2013. Steve Pennington, who is a Department of Air Force veteran, and myself are the two co-chairs, but it's the committee that has really done the work. In fact, the students, I believe, have pledged $125,000 towards
correct.
That's incredible.
It
Just the
is. It
student
just-
body at Edmonds Community College.
So you can see that we have looked at every single possible stakeholder, and ask them to think about making a contribution.
Well, and as you pointed out, Veterans Day is November 11th, and your goal is to be wrapped up by that day and
We
have
hope
a
so.
great celebration. And I hope that we can play some role in that. We will be posting information on the screen so that people know how they can donate, where they can go for more information. And I wish you both the best of luck in this effort, which is just tremendous. And thanks again for coming on the show.
And I'd like to thank you also,
Thank
Teresa, for
you,
inviting
Teresa.
us. It's been most enjoyable, insightful, and really informative.
Well, thank you. Thanks very much.
Welcome to Edmonds Happy Hour. I'm Janette Turner, and I'm here today with Nico Raptis of the Loft Cafe and Courtyard. Welcome, Nico.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody.
Great to see you, and I hear you're going to make a special drink for us today.
Absolutely, yes. We're going to make a strawberry lemon drop.
Sounds
It's very, very
great.
popular. I got one and a half strawberries.
And how many years have you been open in Edmonds?
We opened since August of 2008.
2008, and what are your happy hours?
And so we open happy hours from 4 to 6 and 9 to 11 every day, 7 days a week.
7 days a week,
Yep,
great.
7 days a week, yep.
I also hear that you have a special for food too.
Oh yes, we do have pork belly, which is very, very popular, and also the Kobe sliders. Those are two very popular items, along with the truffle fries. Then I'm gonna put 1 ounce of vodka, half an ounce of triple sec, splash of sweet and sour, a little bit of simple syrup, and we'll shake it. And slice of strawberry.
More strawberry. All right, and before I taste this,
Yeah,
on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy will this make people?
I think 10 plus.
10 plus. Okay,
10
let's
plus.
see. Here we go. Wow, that's a 10.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Well, thank you very much for letting us hear all about your happy hour. Come on down
Yes,
to the
come down
Loft
to the
and come
Loft.
see Nico. Hi everyone, it's Tony Majuris, your beauty specialist at the Walgreens Edmonds store. Stop on by and check out our hot beauty trends at affordable prices. I'll see you there.
Welcome to Aygin's Beauty Corner. I'm Teresa Whipple, and Aygin Ghorbani, it's great to have you back in the studio.
Thank you so much, Teresa.
Now, today we have what you're calling fall favorites for all
Yes.
ages. So show me what you have here.
Definitely. So first thing is first, we have our moisturizer. Moisturizer is so important. The nice thing about this, Teresa, it has SPF 15 in it, which is really important even if you decide not to wear any makeup. And next what we have is a primer. This is very important, especially for those of us who are going to be putting on makeup. This kind of acts like a sponge. It's going to hold everything in place, give you a nice porcelain finish. And this is very, very similar to a high-end product as well. So you can find it for almost half the price at any drugstore, which is awesome. Who wouldn't like that? Next, we have the L'Oreal Magic Nude Liquid Powder. Oh my gosh, liquid powder. Yes, I said that correctly. That's a tongue twister. So the nice thing about that, Teresa, it's a 2-in-1 product. So you don't need to have a pressed powder on top. Now for those of us who are just starting to get into makeup but don't really want to do the whole liquid heavy look, there is a thing called BB creams. BB creams are awesome. They are moisturizers, primers, and a little bit of liquid foundation all into one. You can do it with a sponge, with a tool. I mean, it's endless with your fingers. It's awesome. And that's perfect for, especially if you're middle schooler or high school, just starting to get in there. You have such beautiful skin. Don't want to ruin it, you know?
Okay, and so that pink, I was wondering about that. That
Yes.
pink element
This
is
little
actually a
guy.
sponge.
Yes, it's a makeup applicator. So this one specifically is a beauty blender.
Okay.
But there are very similar ones at all drugstores that you can find, and what you want to do with them. Just use your makeup applicator. That's going to be your makeup applicator, and put your foundation, on your hand, and from there apply it on your face.
Okay,
Very simple.
Very good.
Yes. And then this are my favorite blushes. They are so pigmented. They remind me of MAC brushes, or MAC blushes, I'm sorry. And they are amazing. This is the L'Oreal Revival Lift Blush.
Okay. And when you say
awesome.
Revival Lift, does it tend to lift your skin?
Yes, so they have a whole collection, a whole line. They have concealers, liquid foundations, pressed powders, blushes, but the blushes are absolutely to die for because they have such high pigmentation. I mean, look at that. You can see on my finger. It's so soft.
That feels
and it's
very nice.
It's and it makes your skin very soft. I mean, it's amazing, and it's only a couple of dollars, so why not? And this is my favorite mascara, Teresa. It's amazing. I've always used the waterproof formula. I actually prefer it. It doesn't give me any clumps. It gives me nice, beautiful, long lashes. And who wouldn't want that?
It's really interesting because I am overwhelmed by the mascara choices when I go to the drugstore. How do you decide? Why is this one so great?
You just have to, it's a process of trial and error, really.
Okay.
You have to try it out, which mascara really emphasizes your lash. And I mean, there's volumizing, there's defining, there's lengthening, there's everything that you can possibly think of.
Okay.
But this one by far, I've always recommended to my friends, to family, to whomever. I'm like, you guys try CoverGirl's Lash Blast. It's amazing. But again, you have to really see if it's right for you.
Okay, and probably true with all of these is trial and error.
Yes, exactly. Trial and error. And you know what? If you decide you don't like the moisturizer, use your own. Read reviews. I'm a big review person. I want to see if other people have used it. People have the same skin concerns as I do.
Very good. Well, thanks again for coming in today. And it was great to have you talk about your fall favorites. And we'll see you again soon. Thanks for joining us.
It's an Edmonds kind of